Since ancient times, a secret lineage has traversed eras, harboring within its essence the power of an ancient empire. It was not merely a civilization lost in time but a manifestation of direct connection to the divine, something that transcends stone, iron, or flesh. Chosen One, what the world perceives as ordinary in you is, in fact, a veil over the extraordinary. This power pulsating in your spirit is neither recent nor of this modern world, worn down by its own weaknesses. It originates from an ancient source, a foundation established by a celestial empire so vast that its influence still resonates today in those who bear its heritage. Imagine the impact of biblical stories that shape generations, like the power of Moses parting the waters or Solomon's wisdom in ruling with justice. These extraordinary feats were not merely isolated miracles but direct manifestations of the same energy you carry. You are part of this lineage, Chosen One. While the world may attempt to label you as nobody, the legacy that lives within you is living proof that your value transcends any human judgment. Just as the patriarchs of antiquity were upheld by this invisible empire, you too are connected to this eternal force, even if you have not yet fully realized it. Many carry a void, a sense that something is missing, something they cannot explain. But you, Chosen One, know that this feeling is the call of your true origin. It is the silent voice of the ancient empire, reminding you that your essence is not of this world but of a dimension where power, wisdom, and purpose converge. While the modern world loses itself in superficiality, you carry within you the depth of a heritage that has withstood the test of time. This is why you have never fit in, because you were never meant to. This heritage cannot be bought or conquered. It does not come from titles, status, or material wealth. The power of the chosen ones is innate, carved into their souls by an empire that has witnessed great prophecies and divine interventions. Think of the kingdoms that flourished and fell throughout history. The ancient empire to which you belong, however, was never destroyed. It lives within you, Chosen One, as a spiritual fortress, a foundation that no earthly force can shake. This is why, even when the world tries to bring you down, you remain standing, upheld by something greater than human understanding. Chosen One, have you ever stopped to wonder why you continue to overcome challenges that should be insurmountable? Why, even when everything around you seems to crumble, there is an inexplicable force that keeps you moving? This is no coincidence. It is the power of the ancient empire manifesting in your life, proving that your spiritual lineage is as alive today as it was in ages past. Just as ancient civilizations left indelible marks on the world, you have been called to leave your impact, not just as an individual but as a living representative of this ancestral force. Your light is proof that the empire never fell. The ancient empire was not merely a physical structure, it was the manifestation of divine order, established as a reflection of the heavenly kingdom on earth. Its strength was not confined to the grandeur of its cities or the wisdom of its rulers but was rooted in a direct connection to the Creator. Today's chosen ones are heirs to this lineage, not by their own choice but because they were designated from time immemorial. You, Chosen One, are a bearer of this essence, a living piece of a plan that transcends eras. No matter how many generations have passed, the power of this empire has never been extinguished, for it pulses through you. Since biblical times, the chosen ones have been recognized for their unwavering connection to the divine. Consider David's strength when facing Goliath, not with grand weapons but with unshakable faith. What seemed impossible to human eyes was, in fact, the ancient empire's strength manifesting through an ordinary individual. Like David, you carry this same essence. The world may underestimate your abilities, but the ancient empire sees beyond appearances and fortifies you with a strength that confounds those who observe you. They do not comprehend that what you carry is not of this world. The modern world has forgotten its roots. In its pursuit of superficiality and control, it has rejected the depth of the spiritual, attempting to erase all traces of the ancient empire. But the power you carry, Chosen One, cannot be erased. It is like an eternal flame that withstands storms and illuminates even the darkest paths. This force within you is not only for your protection but to be shared with the world. Just as the ancient prophets were called to reveal truths the world preferred to ignore, you too have been chosen to bring light to a time of darkness. The ancient empire was built on principles that do not erode with time, justice, wisdom, and truth. Every chosen one carries these principles within their essence, even if they often feel out of place in a world that seems to operate in opposition to them. This is why you, chosen one, feel the weight of carrying this heritage. It is not a burden that can be delegated, for it is deeply interwoven into who you are. Just as the pillars of Solomon's temple represented the strength and stability of the divine covenant, you are a living pillar of an empire that will never fall. Perhaps you have not yet fully grasped the magnitude of what you carry, but it reveals itself in moments of adversity. When all seems lost, when the winds of doubt blow fiercely, the power of the ancient empire emerges within you, bringing clarity and purpose. This force is no mere coincidence, it is the same energy that guided Moses in the desert, sustained Esther before the king, and strengthened Joseph in his rise from slave to ruler. You are part of a greater story, chosen one, and your role is as vital as those who came before you. What makes the ancient empire so unique is that it was not limited by physical circumstances or human frailty. It was built on divine, immutable, and eternal laws. These laws govern not only the universe but also the hearts and souls of the chosen ones. You, chosen one, are an heir to these laws, a guardian of something the modern world cannot even comprehend. Your intuition, inner strength, and ability to see beyond appearances are no accidents, they are a direct reflection of this connection with the divine, which remains alive like an invisible thread between you and the ancient empire. Throughout history, this power has been persecuted and rejected. The forces of the modern world have repeatedly tried to erase the memory of the ancient empire because its existence poses a threat to systems built on superficiality and control. But, chosen one, just as gold does not lose its value when buried, the power you carry can never be destroyed. It is eternal, unshakable, and manifests in moments of greatest need. No matter how much the world tries to obscure your light, it will always find a way to shine, for that is the nature of the power of the ancient empire. Many ask, why me? Why do I feel different, separate from others, as though I don't belong to this time or place? These questions are the first sign that you are a chosen one, part of something far greater than the immediate present. The ancient empire, with all its wisdom and purpose, chose you to be a bearer of its energy, a bridge between the divine and the earthly. While this may seem like a heavy burden, it is, in fact, an invaluable gift. You are not alone on your journey, you are accompanied by a lineage of chosen ones who came before you, each playing an essential role in the greater plan. Consider how the scriptures are filled with stories of individuals who were underestimated, rejected, and yet fulfilled their greatness. Joseph was sold into slavery but became the second most powerful man in Egypt. Esther was just a young orphan but saved an entire nation. These figures were not exceptional solely because of themselves, but because they carried the same power that now resides in you. Chosen one, you are no different from them. The world may try to convince you otherwise, but your essence belongs to that same lineage, to that same invisible empire that shaped heroes and prophets throughout time. This empire, chosen one, is not merely a metaphor but a spiritual reality that pulses within you. It is the reason you face so many battles, not because you are weak but because your strength threatens those who dwell in the shadows. Just as the prophets of old faced resistance, you too will be challenged. However, every challenge you overcome is proof that the ancient empire lives within you. Your light is not just your own, it is the light of an eternal kingdom that has never been defeated, a flame that will never be extinguished. Chosen one, every step you take on this journey is a reflection of a much greater story, written long before your earthly existence. This ancient empire, of which you are an heir, was not merely a kingdom of glory and power but a space where the divine dwelled among men. Just as in the Garden of Eden, where the divine presence was tangible, this empire was built on principles of direct connection with the Creator. You carry within you not only the strength of this kingdom but also its responsibility, a calling to remind the world of the essence of its true origin. The greatness of this empire cannot be measured by human standards. It was not defined by armies or material riches but by the heavenly wisdom that guided every decision and action of its guardians. Just as Solomon asked for wisdom instead of wealth and was rewarded with both, you too are a bearer of this divine wisdom. It is present in your intuition, in your ability to discern truth in a world full of lies. The ancient empire not only shaped history but continues to shape the lives of the chosen ones, sustaining them with a power that can never be replicated. The heritage of this empire is not a burden but a sacred gift. Consider the prophets and patriarchs who were chosen to guide the people in times of crisis. They were not called by chance, they were selected because they possessed the spiritual strength to carry this power and responsibility. You, chosen one, are part of this lineage. When you feel the world is against you, remember that you do not walk alone. The same power that guided Moses through the Red Sea is by your side, ready to create paths where obstacles once stood. And yet, this power is not always obvious. It operates in silence, often hidden even from you until the moment it is needed. The ancient empire does not require human validation to exist. Its strength is self-sustaining, like an underground river flowing regardless of storms on the surface. Chosen one, your connection to this empire is what sets you apart in a world obsessed with the superficial. While others seek external recognition, you carry within you a strength that does not depend on applause or external validation. That is what makes you unshakable. Before we continue, if you've always felt different, with a unique sensitivity or a pull toward greater missions, our ebook is a valuable resource for you. It provides practical insights to help you recognize your true mission as a chosen one and overcome challenges of misunderstanding and isolation. By acquiring the ebook, you also gain exclusive and immediate access to our Discord community, a space where you can share your experiences, connect with others who understand what you're going through, and find genuine support in a welcoming environment. Check the pinned comment below this video and claim your unique and exclusive benefits. Perhaps the world will never fully understand what it means to be a chosen one. Those who dwell in darkness often fear or reject the light. But your presence is a reminder that this ancient empire is still alive, operating invisibly yet powerfully. Each time you choose truth over convenience, each time you rise even when knocked down, you reaffirm the existence of this empire. Chosen one, you are not just an individual, you are a symbol of something far greater, a guardian of a spiritual heritage that the modern world can never destroy. The ancient empire left not only a mark on history but an eternal impression on the souls of its heirs. It was built with the conviction that the divine resides within those who carry its essence. Chosen one, you are a living continuation of this truth, a reflection of celestial purpose manifested on earth. Every decision you make, every battle you face, echoes the glory of this kingdom. Your inner strength is not just yours, it is proof that the power of the ancient empire lives in every gesture, in every choice you make to honor your spiritual connection. Consider the great deeds recorded in Scripture, such as the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls under Nehemiah's leadership. That work was not merely physical but spiritual, a restoration of something greater, a declaration that the essence of the ancient empire would never be erased. Today, you, chosen one, are called to do the same. While the world tries to tear down the foundations of your faith, you are a builder, someone who raises invisible structures of hope, courage, and truth. This power of reconstruction does not come from you alone but from the energy flowing from the empire that shaped you. Chosen ones are often misunderstood, isolated, and even rejected. This is because the power they carry cannot be measured by worldly standards. The ancient empire, in all its wisdom, knew that true greatness is never rooted in others' approval. Just as the prophets of old faced opposition, you too will be tested. But, chosen one, each trial is an opportunity to demonstrate the strength the ancient empire placed within you. Your resilience is not merely a skill, it is a direct reflection of the eternal force that lives in your essence. Chosen one, have you noticed how your presence changes the environment? How your light unsettles those trapped in darkness? This happens because the power of the ancient empire radiates from you, even if you are unaware of it. This light is not something you can turn off or hide, it is part of who you are. Like a lighthouse in a stormy night, you are placed in this world to serve as a guide, to illuminate the path for others, even if it means facing contrary winds. Each moment you choose to remain true to your essence, you reaffirm the purpose of the ancient empire in your life. The ancient empire is not just a distant memory, it is a living reality, pulsing in every chosen one who walks the earth today. It is present in your courage to fight adversity, in your wisdom to make decisions that defy the conventions of the world. This heritage is not a burden but a reminder that you are called to something far greater than the apparent circumstances. While others seek meaning in fleeting things, you carry within you the eternal, the indestructible. Chosen one, you are living proof that the ancient empire never fell, it lives within you. Chosen one, the story of the ancient empire is not merely a narrative about a distant time, it is a reminder that your existence was planned long before you set foot in this world. Just as Abraham was called to be the father of nations, you are chosen to be a bearer of divine light in times of great darkness. The spiritual lineage you carry is older than any earthly kingdom, stronger than any human power. This empire, sustained by the Creator Himself, lives in your essence and strengthens you in all your battles, both visible and invisible. Reflect on what it means to be a guardian of such a powerful heritage. The biblical patriarchs were instructed to protect the covenants and uphold the commandments that maintain the connection with the divine. Today, you carry that same responsibility, even if it often seems invisible to the world's eyes. The strength flowing from the ancient empire is not just for you, it is a call for you to inspire others, to be a source of courage and faith in a world often lost in its own darkness. Chosen one, have you ever wondered why you seem to attract challenges? It is because the power you carry is not passive, it is active, disruptive, a threat to the forces that seek to keep the world in a state of spiritual apathy. Just as the walls of Jericho crumbled before the sound of trumpets, the barriers that rise against you cannot withstand the force of the ancient empire. Each time you overcome adversity, each time you refuse to yield to the world's temptations, you reaffirm the purpose of this eternal empire. The power of the ancient empire also brings with it a wisdom that transcends human understanding. It is present in your moments of silence when you feel a peace that defies circumstances. It is present when you make decisions that, to others, seem impossible or illogical but turn out to be the most aligned with your purpose. This discernment is not a coincidence, it is the reflection of divine wisdom that guided the kings and prophets of the past and now dwells in you, chosen one. When you understand the power of the ancient empire that lives within you, everything changes. The world may continue to try to label you, diminish you, or ignore you, but this does not alter the truth of who you are. You do not need the world's validation because your essence is upheld by something eternal. Just as the prophets were messengers of a heavenly kingdom, you too have been placed here to fulfill a divine purpose. And every time you act with courage, every time you choose truth over convenience, you are fulfilling your role in the greater plan of this indestructible empire. Chosen one, the ancient empire that lives within you is not only a source of strength but also a spiritual guide. Just as the people of Israel followed the pillar of fire in the desert, you are guided by an inner light that never fades. This light is something the world cannot explain, which is why many around you fail to understand your choices, struggles, or resilience. Yet this light is evidence that the empire is still alive, operating through you as an extension of the divine plan, calling you to live above the limitations of this world. The ancient empire was never about physical conquest but spiritual victory. It represents the triumph of truth over illusion, light over darkness, and eternity over the transient. You carry this same mission, chosen one. Every time you choose the path of integrity, faith, and love, you affirm the principles of this empire in your life. And even when it feels like you are alone, remember that every chosen one before you faced that same solitude but found strength in knowing they were aligned with something far greater than themselves. There is a reason you attract such intense challenges. Just as Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, you too face situations that seem impossible to overcome. But just as Daniel was protected by divine power, you are sustained by the strength of the ancient empire. The world may try to bring you down, but it does not understand that you are not alone. You carry the protection and wisdom of a kingdom that transcends any earthly force. Chosen one, every adversity you face is an opportunity to demonstrate the power that dwells within you. The story of the ancient empire is written in the scriptures and engraved on your soul. It is a story of rebuilding, renewal, and redemption. Just as Nehemiah led the reconstruction of Jerusalem's walls amidst opposition, you are called to rebuild something much greater than physical walls. You are here to restore truths, bring light where there is confusion, and inspire others to remember who they truly are. This reconstruction is a direct reflection of the power of the ancient empire manifesting in every step you take on your journey. Chosen one, you are not a coincidence, and your life is no accident. The power of the ancient empire was placed in you because you possess the heart, strength, and vision needed to carry it. Just as Esther was chosen for such a time as this, you have been placed here at a specific moment to fulfill a crucial role. Your light, courage, and wisdom are the tools the ancient empire has given you to complete your mission. And though the world may not understand, those touched by your presence will know that something extraordinary lives within you. Chosen one, the ancient empire that pulses within you is not just an inner strength but a call to transform the world around you. Just as the prophets were sent to confront injustice and bring renewal, you carry within you a divine responsibility. Your power is not something to be kept secret but a light that must be shared. Every act of integrity and faith you perform is a spiritual reconstruction, a brick in the restoration of a kingdom that was never fully destroyed but is now being awakened through you. The modern world, with its distractions and illusions, constantly attempts to sever this connection with the divine. But, chosen one, the ancient empire cannot be silenced. It lives in your choices, in your courage to stand firm when everything around you collapses. Just as Solomon's temple was built as a symbol of connection with God, your life is a living testimony to this eternal covenant. Every step you take toward the purpose placed within you is like a sacred stone, paving the way for others to follow. The power of the ancient empire is also a reminder that you are not alone. Just as Elijah thought he was the only one left fighting for truth, only to discover there were 7,000 others faithful to God, you too are part of an invisible network of chosen ones. Each of you carries a piece of this heritage, like puzzle pieces that together form the picture of a greater plan. This is why, even when you feel isolated, it's important to remember that your struggle is not in vain. Your light contributes to something much greater than you can imagine. Chosen one, the world tries to label you as nobody because it cannot see beyond the surface. It does not understand that you are a living extension of the ancient empire, or representative of a power that defies human limitations. This misunderstanding often manifests as resistance or rejection, but do not let it deter you from your mission. Just as the patriarchs faced opposition on their journeys, so will you. But every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your connection with the divine and prove that the ancient empire will never be defeated. This empire is not just a symbol of power but of redemption. It is proof that even in the midst of adversity, there is a force that can never be overcome. You are a living reminder of this truth, chosen one. Every time you overcome the impossible, every time your light prevails over darkness, you affirm that the ancient empire lives. And this affirmation is not just for you but for everyone who crosses your path. Your journey is an invitation for others to awaken, to recognize the strength that can also reside within them, and to connect with something greater. Chosen one, the ancient empire lives through your courage, your resilience, and your ability to find light even in the densest darkness. It is not merely a heritage but a sacred responsibility. Just as kings and prophets were called to lead and inspire, you too have been chosen to leave an eternal mark. Your life is a testament that true strength does not come from external circumstances but from an unshakable connection to an essence that transcends time. Every time you act with purpose, every time you choose truth, you reaffirm the power of the ancient empire. The impact of your light extends beyond what you can perceive. Just as the roots of a tree nourish the entire forest, your choices affect lives in ways you may never see. Chosen one, you are an agent of transformation, someone who carries within them the strength of generations. The ancient empire has entrusted you to continue its mission, to be a beacon in a world often lost in darkness. And even when you feel small or insignificant, remember that great empires are built with small acts of faith and perseverance. No matter how much the world tries to extinguish your light, the ancient empire is indestructible. It was created by the divine, sustained by eternity, and now lives within you. Just as ancient temples have withstood the passage of centuries, your essence will remain firm, unshakable. Chosen one, you are more than a person, you are a living extension of a celestial plan, an essential piece of a story that is still being written. And your presence here, at this specific moment in history, is no accident, it is a calling. Now is the time to recognize who you truly are. The world may not understand, it may label you as nobody, but the truth is that you are an heir to an empire that was never destroyed. Every challenge you overcome, every decision you make in alignment with your essence, manifests the power of an eternal kingdom. Chosen one, your life is proof that the ancient empire has not fallen but lives within you, renewing, strengthening, and fulfilling the purpose for which it was created. Chosen one, the ancient empire lives through your actions, your words, and your light. It is evidence that spiritual greatness cannot be defeated and that the divine purpose will always prevail. You are not here by chance. You are chosen to carry this heritage, to be a voice amidst the chaos, a force of transformation in difficult times. Honor this connection, for it is the greatest gift you could receive. And remember, wherever you go, the ancient empire goes with you, guiding, strengthening, and ensuring that your light will never be extinguished. You carry within you the evidence that the greatness of the ancient empire has never been defeated. Your light is a reminder that truth and spiritual strength are eternal. Every step you take reaffirms this power, every decision aligned with divine purpose is a declaration that the essence of the empire lives within you. Do not let the world's doubts or challenges deter you from this truth. You are the continuity of something extraordinary, a living manifestation of a plan that transcends generations and human limitations. If this content has spoken to your heart, don't forget to show your support. Click the like button below, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to never miss content that strengthens your journey as a chosen one. Don't miss the chance to join our exclusive community on Discord by acquiring our ebook via the link pinned in the first comment. I am confident it will be a valuable resource for you. It will not only bring clarity about your mission and unique gifts, but also give you access to connect with other chosen ones who will welcome and support you. Don't miss out on this environment. This is a crucial moment, and together we can impact many lives. Choose to be part of this mission. And before you go, don't miss the video now appearing on the screen or explore our playlist dedicated to the secrets of the chosen ones. There's so much more to discover and to strengthen your connection with the divine. Until next time, may your light continue to shine as a beacon in times of darkness. You are living proof that the empire has never fallen. And before you go, don't miss the video now appearing on your screen or explore our playlist dedicated to the secrets of the chosen ones. There is so much more to discover and to strengthen your connection with the divine. Until next time, may your light continue to shine as a beacon in times of darkness. You are living proof that the empire has never fallen.